Happy New Year! Oh.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another podcast. I am Hoots, your host, and with me today are Michi, Yates, and what's your name again? Sam. Well, boys, introduce yourselves. Go.
Okay, so that is a wonderful introduction from our wonderful partner in crime, Hoots. So yeah, we actually have a new guest
The
on the show.
Serbian Stallion.
Okay, so we actually have a new guest on the show. Basically, introduce yourself, Michi.
Yeah, well, hello, I'm Michi, I'm German, I'm Diamond, and I main ADC.
He's gay, ladies, back off.
Also that. Hi, it's me. That's all you need to know.
Okay, and we actually have our usual people. So Hoots, basically our Serbian stallion, and Tim, our high elo diamond man, who's an Evelyn one trick.
Ooh, spicy. Well, I'm not entirely a one trick anymore, but I do mainly play Evelyn.
So today, for our first course of subject, let's address the elephant in the room. So, who has a 55% win rate and is tearing up solo queue?
AD Cannon.
I think it's 80. It's on hit Neeko. Pretty sure.
Close enough.
Yep.
100
Neeko-Neeko-Ni.
We can kind of talk about it a little bit. Neeko is gonna get a buff. Her route through minions only is gonna get a buff. It's gonna be coming from 2.5 seconds to 3 seconds route now.
Oh, that's already been taken into effect, hasn't it?
No, that's not taking into effect. It's next patch.
Let me actually have a check on
Isn't it
surrender.
this? I think it's this patch.
Or maybe it's already in live service. That can be true. It's not in LCS.
It's this patch, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's why.
Did they change anything else though?
Right.
Remove the 3-hit passive. She's fine without it. Like Zoe is fine without her Lich Bane thingy.
Yeah, let's see. I'm just going to check this just to make sure. Because we actually have this up. No, it's already live in this patch.
Yeah, okay, this is live on Surface. Sorry, I forgot that LCS is a little bit behind on that one. Or LEC.
Why did I pipe in 7.6? Patch 9 point. Is it 5 now? Yeah, 5. Okay, so for those who are unsure about the nerfs, Neeko, E-root adjust, not nerfs, buffs. Neeko, E-root adjusted. It still goes up to 3 seconds on all other enemy hit.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, her win rate went up for like 5% or something after this patch, so I mean, yeah, that's pure balance, I guess.
And her pick rate went up too.
Yeah, dude, the pick rate, ban rate, and win rate went up, and when that happens, you know something is wrong. Like, something is a little bit, I would say, busted, but...
Iffy. I mean, the problem is with the Neeko, I feel like, is that she is incredibly strong once she hit those item spikes, and since the game is so mid-game oriented right now, that's where she spikes the most.
Dude,
That makes her so fucking oppressive to play against, especially if she hits like CC, she has like tools in her kit to make her own plays, and then it feels like, when she's ahead, it feels like there's not much counterplay. Like, you just die. Unless you have like very heavy CC comp with a lot of team fighting potential, then Neeko feels a bit weak. But otherwise, it's just Neeko takes over the game, and I don't think there's anyone who can duel her specifically. Maybe Vayne, maybe something that's high damage as well. But, yeah.
Like, the thing is, she just needs one item and she pops off. Like, you just need Rage Blade and boom, she's good. Like, it almost doesn't matter what you build afterwards, because everything else after it is just basically just the icing on the cake. You just need this one item and you do damage.
Well, I actually, in the LCS, they explained it the best way. You could just build Blade of the Rune King into Rage Blade, and you will have like let's say with press the attack, you have like what, a 20% health threat, like instantly burst.
Dude,
It's
she's
so
basically
annoying.
like a Vayne, like
That really,
AP Vayne.
it really comes into the question though, because of course Neeko has an absurd base damage on her W. So as we did talk about this last time, but just to remind everyone, bonus magic damage is 170 base damage.
That's so dumb.
Yep, and combine that with Ginsu's, where it becomes every 2 auto attack. Yeah, that does add up. Not only that, but her bonus movement speed as well, 40%.
Yeah, then add the press the attack on top of it, and the Blade of the Ruin King 6% true damage is basically.
Yep, you can't itemize against her. Armor, fuck that. Someone's actually suggested adaptive helm against her, so I think it was Various on the LEC.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, you have adaptive helm, but you have all these other sources of damage. Maybe
Yeah,
that.
Adaptive Helmet is such a niche item at the moment, because Adaptive Helmet, when it originally came out, it was a super strong item, mainly because like all the meta picks back then, like Cassiopeia, Monster, etc., deal like a lot of damage.
Yeah, Cassiopeia,
Sustained
Rise.
damage. Yeah, Rise too. Like, but I feel like in the current meta, because everything is mid-game oriented, Adaptive Helmet just doesn't do enough. And in terms of like ADC power spikes, when except for Neeko, I don't feel like Adaptive Helmet does anything. So yeah, it's just I don't feel like it's a valid item to build against Neeko. Neeko's in the game.
Yeah, now it's actually get to a point now that pretty much the three of the best ADCs, particularly all have in common, which is the Ginso Rage Blade. Vayne builds it. I know you're going to argue that BORK into Phantom Dance is probably much better for her, but
Well, it's kind of
Depends on
funny
depends on the matchups, really. Like,
too.
yeah,
you play against. Like, if they have tanks, you just always go for it. But if they don't have any tanks, there's no really a point, in
Yeah.
my opinion, to go for Rage Blade.
but
Yeah, it's like what Michi said. If you have like 4 tanks in the enemy team on hit, it's
Yeah.
so much stronger because you burn through the health so much quicker.
Yep.
But like in this meta where everyone is basically squishy, like you build 3 on Vayne with the build I have, which is actually Schalke's upset build, which I stole from Solo Q because he stomped me with it. Is like it adds the frozen mallet on top of 3 crit items with the Blaze of the Ruin King. You have so much health and so much sustain that nobody can kill you. So you just burn through everyone because you only need 2 or 3 crits and somebody's dead. So you don't even need the 100% crit, and you have so much health, like it's 3k health on top of the lifesteal. You just sustain so much with Vayne that. This is the solo queue build, by the way. I don't see pros do it, and I think they don't do it because you want to look for like the more sustained adaptive fights in pro play, and that's why I think for solo queue it's way better in my opinion.
So but going back to the subject of pretty much some of the best ADC picks in competitive right now, and in solo queue, tend to use the Rage Blade build, which is basically Vayne, Kai'Sa, and now Neeko. It begs into the question, which is the Ginsu Rage Blade gonna be a nightmare of an item to still balance? Because remember, they balanced it around reducing the AD and AP ratios, increasing with each hit. Now they've changed it to penetration. Which in terms of the penetration now, they actually had to make it unique passes as well to not let it stack with Last Whisper or Void Staff. But then really it becomes a matter of a question of, is Ginsu's going to be a nightmare of an item to balance? Does it still have a place in the game?
Even if they remove that shred, I think people will still buy Ginsu's just because of the passive. You don't build Ginsu's like for penetration or anything. Like, you just build it for the passive.
Yeah, like champions like Vayne don't really care about the penetration. They really just want the stats you get. Like, you don't really care about the penetration. You just want the passive that gives you double on hit.
I mean, Vayne has their own passive for that. Like you max W right now on almost every build. So yeah.
Yeah, but then that really comes into the next question, which is the fandom hit passive that problematic?
No. I think Neeko just needs a W nerf. Like, just nerf the base damage to like 50. Make her completely useless. I mean, this sounds kind of like because she's so impressive right now. This sounds kind of like a drastic matter. But what I would do is just nerf the on hit damage so much that when you go the on hit build, yes, okay, it can work, but like it isn't as strong. Just because Neeko as a champion itself, the only reason right now this champion is anywhere near good is because of that on hit build, because her W gives her so much. And before this was discovered, Neeko was a basically useless fucking champion. Like every single champion, like you can even like only Sin, you can, for example, when she ults, you could just kick her away and that kind of stuff. If you're in position, it's kind of like she doesn't have much to offer besides that. So I feel like if you want to make her balance, just nerf the W. Like it's just that.
Yeah, but it's going to come at a risk of nerfing her AP build, in which case her other abilities need looking at in terms of buffing damage wise. I can imagine it basically W getting nerfed, but Q and E probably getting buffed damage wise.
Remove the 3-hit passive.
I don't think you have to remove it. I mean, just like
Why even make it? What is it doing?
Tone down the percentage move speed a little bit. Nerf the base damage, but buff the scaling.
I think in terms of the bonus move speed, they should basically have it scale off AP for movement speed.
Yeah, like just nerf base damage and just maybe give a little bit more scaling, so people are actually like, yeah, I actually need to build like some kind of AP to do with this instead of just having 170 base damage.
Yeah.
With scaling, even.
Yeah, and also she basically gets it for free. So the bonus movement speed is for 1 second. When she activates it, she gets that for 3 seconds. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so basically, in other words, is technically a really good Neeko player with that on-hit build. So, for example, AD carries with good, great, excellent kiting skills can pretty much just have that all the time. And also, let's not also forget, she actually has in the ADC role right now, if she's being played in that role, she has the 3rd highest attack speed growth. She's only beaten by Kalista and Ashe.
Just make AP Neeko more attractive. Like, that's what Riot needs to do. Like, you don't release a champion like this. Like, no one was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna play this champion on hit. Like, everyone was like, yeah, that's a mage. And now you have the champion was intended to be a mage, play with an on-hit build with like runes and stuff sometimes, or like Wit's End or whatever, and like the Rage Blade and Blade, like basically like you build an on-hit ADC, and I don't think that's something that should happen.
On the contrary, though, I do agree with Hoots that I don't think the 3-hit passive was necessary on Neeko, like they did that, and that makes this build so much more viable. That gave this build an option. So I would say if you like, I would just for Riot, I would just say if you look into this seriously, you can also just make the W passive an insta burst passive with a cooldown. But that would just then it would be more attractive to build Lich Bane, for example, on Neeko. But I mean, let's say we keep this, because I don't think it's necessarily the problem, as Michi also already said. It's kind of like, but you need to nerf it, because otherwise it's just you will keep this in the game, and that's about it.
Yeah, people keep complaining, and I think Riot is gonna respond to that.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Let's see. Let's check out some videos of Neeko on hit. So let's see.
Do the night blue one.
No, please, no night.
No, we're not promoting any other YouTubers, unfortunately. As I said, we'd rather promote ourselves at this rate. Let's see.
Maybe he notices us and then copy strikes us.
Oh no, this is way too long. So this was done as much as 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very recent build, but
Yeah.
I've at one point, like a few months ago, I was just looking through like win rates, and I looked at Korea and like top lane, and there was like actually a couple of people that just kept playing on it Neeko top lane. I was like, wait, what the hell? And then at some point, people just started realizing, hey, wait, that's good. Like, I don't know who it was that made it like popular for like everyone, but I've been seeing it for quite a while before, but just not this much.
I don't think anyone made it popular. It's just that
it's always
there has to be someone that was like, hey guys, let's play this.
No, but I mean, I don't. As I said, some things like it's sometimes it's not just one guy. Sometimes it's just like a thing that just randomly happens. For example, you see. I mean, then you can argue that maybe it is a guy, but sometimes it's just like a niche build that gets picked up, and some people try it, and suddenly it's like a hype. And it obviously comes from somewhere then, but it's not like this one guy invented it or something. Oh, he's dead. And it seems like with this Neeko build, I mean, maybe there was this one guy in China, maybe there's this one guy in Korea, maybe it was an AU solo kill. I don't fucking know, but like it can be. But so far, what I've heard from it, this only Neeko build just kind of like rolled into League, and it kind of started to get more popular because of Neeko buffs, I suppose, because Neeko got buffed now twice, I believe. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just. It's not like with the Silas. Like with the Silas, it was pretty obviously that once people figured out, oh shit, Aftershock is actually the best rune of Silas, that people started playing that. When before people would pick whatever on Silas, and it was very unsuccessful, even in pro play. With like 1-5. So, like, it's not like that. I feel like the Neeko build just kind of existed, and then suddenly became super popular, and I feel like champion buffs were definitely part of it.
Yeah, I got to say that I think some of the champions that were really overbearing has now basically took a step back in terms of that. And now Neeko found a place, especially with the E route as well. They just made it so much easier for Neeko to shine in the bot lane and in the top lane as well. It's also a versatility as well, so she can be played as a top lane split pusher, like similar to AD Kennen at the time. Or basically she can be played in the bot lane as a viable ADC. It's going to be really interesting. I'm definitely going to see that W damage is going to get nerfed drastically across the board. But as I said, if they do that, they need to buff Neeko's other items and make the AP build more viable. Other than that, though, I think there's nothing really more to address at this stage now with Neeko. It's pretty much obvious at this stage she does need a drastic nerf. Do you feel like she's viable enough for a hotfix nerf?
No.
No.
She's definitely counterable. I mean, as I said, she doesn't have much of a good early game. It depends on how safe she can play. I feel like definitely champions like Lee Sin. I mean, as a jungler perspective, champions like Lee Sin, Evelynn, anything that can get on top of her easily without like without taking the DPS from her. It's just kind of like, okay, she's dead because she's still squishy. I mean, her ult doesn't really provide much because it's too slow. Like, it would only become a problem if her ult was like Kale's ult, where she becomes untargetable and then unleashes that, but that's not the case. And I feel like late game, other ADCs or other champions that have a lot of DPS or split pushers like Yorick can actually trade her or kill her potentially, depending on how both players play it. So, I don't think she needs a nerf.
Okay.
I just feel like she's gonna get the same treatment as On It Lulu did.
Yeah, no. Okay, so with that, let's move on to the next subject. Ranked reset. How happy are you to hear about that?
It's only for an A.
I was about to say, like, we are not even affected.
No, apparently it's affecting for everyone.
Yeah,
Really?
it's all regions.
Wait, but that makes no sense. The reason why they want to make a rank region...
But we never had
So
the low rank.
apparently that's separate. So the whole ranked, in terms of do you remember why we all got absurd LP gains in the beginning?
Yeah.
And some of the skip divisions, so it actually affected all regions. What ended up happening basically with a lot of like masters and grandmaster players, they were plat/diamond level, but because they abused the LP gains, they actually got into masters and high masters when they didn't deserve to be. So it actually didn't just affect North America and Korea, it affected all regions, including EUS.
Well, that explains all the shitty games I've had.
Yeah, it was like I got so random lobbies with like that ranged from platinum to challenger, and I was like so confused, like why? And some of those people just played bad, like they definitely were not challenger level in my opinion.
I had a grandmaster and a master bot lane that played like the D5. Not gonna lie, like they could have had a bad game, but I've never seen their names, so it could also just mean that they were pretty.
Yeah.
I just kept on playing against the same people over like a week or something, and this one guy that went from like masters to challenger or something, or like grandmasters in like a few days. And I've been playing with this guy, like with this guy and against this guy, and every time that guy always lost. Like either he was in my team and we lost, or he was in the enemy team and he lost. And he only like one-tricked a certain champion and then changed to another one. It was like so weird. And I was just confused, like, wait, this guy's not good. He just plays tanks, and for some reason, like, it was so weird. Like, the whole matchmaking was all over the place.
Yep. So there's the explanation behind that was inflated LP gains. Riot tried to fix it, and they did normalize it, but the people that already got into the ranks that they didn't deserve to be in weren't dropping down fast enough. They were still pretty much plaguing and affecting the game. So,
I mean, in my honest opinion, I think Riot could just have let it be, because, like, the season is still gonna take a while. Like, and it's not like at the end of the season all those people will drop. And what also happens a lot is that I know personally, like, challenger friends that don't like climbing early, they just climb later into the season, like after MSI, and I know that those people are like sitting in plot right now too, because they don't want to climb, and it's kind of like, where do you draw the line then? Like, I mean, there's so many people that probably like are at least high diamond, or like I think maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people that just aren't on their rank where they are supposed to be, or higher. And I feel like if you do that now, I mean, for those people, it's not really gonna matter, but it doesn't really show that difference that they say that there needs to be. Which I find, yeah, I mean, it's a contrasting matter. I mean, maybe it's better for everyone.
Yeah. So let's go over it. So we're happy with some of the rank changes, like the placement rework and positional matchmaking is an improvement in several areas. However, the reception of positional ranks haven't been as positive. So we're discontinuing the global rollout and ending the position rank preview in Korea and North America on March the 13th. We also concluded our investigation into Diamond Plus matchmaking / rank issues. To fix them, we'll be setting all Master Plus players to Master 0 LP and demoting Diamond players by one division, floored at Diamond 4 by late March.
Okay, that's at least a positive thing. Well, the funny part is I first didn't understand the critique on the new system, but I've been actually watching Mo stream, because Mo and Tyler 1 have this drop off where they have to pay each other 10k if one ends higher than the other. Who's the more consistent player is the bet. And Mo has been flipping his ass off. And that's because he plays mid lane, so he gets autofilled, quote unquote autofilled, quite a lot.
He puts mid and jungle.
Yeah, he plays mid and jungle, but he gets jungle more, or he gets jungle like 30% of his games, which is a lot considering the amount of games he plays. And when he wins on jungle, when he swaps role, the system doesn't realize that he's playing mid because he's supposed to be playing jungle.
No, nobody wants to. Nobody wanted to swap him because, like, he
No, no,
would.
no, 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 no. He got a couple swaps in, and then in those games where he swapped, the system didn't realize that he was mid, so he got all his LP for jungle. But that means that his main role is like, because the main role is like the role you climb on. So essentially, um, that's kind of like okay, that's where your rank is linked to.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that essentially he put in all his effort into trying to make that work,
Mm-hmm.
and not getting any LP for it. He gets like
Oh
12
yeah.
LP.
Also, and if you dodge, you lose the LP on your main role, not
Yeah.
the role you got filled to.
Yeah, that's also a thing. So I think the system works, but it needs some refinement. And Riot have talked about more LP splash in the future, which might solve the issue.
Yep. But as I said, instead of doing that, they're just discontinuing it now. So
Yeah,
Well-
but I think they discontinue it right now because they are gonna fix the system and maybe put it into place the next season. We will see.
You know what you should do? You should put like only one role. So like, you put your main role that you want to climb on, and I don't know where I'm going with this.
Okay. What
No,
about
I thought about it. I had a dream. Like I was thinking about it in my dream, and it all made sense. And now I can remember.
It sounded good in my head.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how most people who make a terrible mistake originally thought it sounded good in their head. Like, for example, when you just see a hot, spicy woman and you think to yourself, I've got this perfect pickup line, I'm just gonna say it to her. And then when it comes out, it's like spaghetti falling out of your trousers.
Or like this one high play. You're playing Lee Sin. You see this juicy dive bot lane and you forget they have summoners. Like,
What? My mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes. Okay, Michi, what's your opinions on this ranked reset?
I mean,
He's D4, he's unaffected.
dude, I only played I only play for the border here, man. I don't really care. But the thing is, I felt like it's gonna balance out at some point, like on its own.
Yep.
Because I feel like players that don't deserve the elo will demote at some point, simply because more and more players play, and the good players keep on ranking up, and obviously the worst players like get down. It just takes time, and I mean, I can understand the reset, but I mean, I felt like it wasn't really that necessary. But you know, I don't really grind so at the moment, so I can't really
Mm-hmm.
speak that much from my own experience. I only realized that some matchmakings were like really weird.
Mm.
Do you know that my Bronze 2 Smurf is like has a 30% win rate, and I gain like 35 LP and lose 9, and I can't demote to Iron. Like fucking impossible.
Remember at
Actually.
some point I gained like 30 LP when I won and lost 10 or something, and it was
Yeah,
like,
like
yeah.
I literally fucking run it down in those games, and like
Yeah.
they all chase me and we somehow win, and I'm like plus 35. Well, you threw your fucking last 5 games that you entered and lost like 30 LP, like back to start.
So, just to clarify, this doesn't. So, positional matchmaking is still in effect, and apparently that's been positive. So, if you do get autofilled into another role, you will get matched against other players in that role of your skill level. So, pretty
makes
much.
sense.
So, pretty much, in other words, is if you're a shit tier support, you'll get matched against other shit tier supports, basically.
I feel like that change is more of an issue in higher elos. I mean, I do see it in low elos. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
like if you are like okay, I will take an extreme example. If you're like
Mm-hmm.
if you're like high challenger, like a jungler, and you get like support, but you only play support like 1% of your games. It's kind of like, okay, I'm probably only a diamond 1 support, maybe mustard, because of your macro, and it's kind of like, yeah, but now I have to fare up against this challenger support that knows all the matchups, all the combinations bot lane with this ADC that's there, and it's just like, okay, it's kind of impossible for me to win probably. So
Yep.
then the game feels really balanced, because in higher elos the game feels much or way faster unbalanced than it feels in low elo. Even though low elo is already shit fast sometimes. So that is definitely a change that benefits high elo more than low elo, but it also benefits low elo because it makes it gives people an easier time to climb, because they get like, essentially, if you're plot and you play your plot 3, you play against gold 3, it's much easier to kind of get the win in than you have to play against a plot 3. So
Yeah.
We like Riot.
Speaking of, let's go into professional games now. We're going to be talking about the LCK and LEC. In not 2 games, we're going to be discussing it about.
Yeah, okay, this is literally all professional games right now. Like that explains everything.
So, I'm going to show you the beauty that is Griffin versus SKT backdoor. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, where is
I haven't seen it yet, so yes.
Okay.
yeah, sure. Open up something.
Yeah.
Here we go.
This is game 3, the Evelyn game. I will talk about this very soon.
I'm ready to blow this thing.
This is so tense. Hard moves too far, they lose it. Where is Tarzan? Is he around the Baron?
Oh, that's so nice.
I
Oh,
like how they know that something is wrong. It's like, hey, wait a minute, something.
Here we go, boys.
well, and here they lost. GG, well played. Okay, so we can talk about this a little bit. If you watched the interview with Tarzan, he actually said he wasn't sure about the Evelyn pick, because the Evelyn pick is kind of like a weird pick, of course, where it's kind of how I saw Tarzan play Evelyn, I don't think he played her necessarily right. There were a lot of things he did wrong. He got actually, I don't think SKT did really well in team fights to shut him down, so he didn't really get the impact he wanted to, and that's why I think Tarzan said it's not a good pick, because SKT had such a good like team fight comp, because we had Cliff on the Zac. So it was really difficult for the Evelyn to actually do something, and as you saw there, the Jace can just quickly kill her without like much of a resist. So he makes the game play there.
He made a lot of good picks though.
Yeah, that was early on, but those are like easy picks, I would say, as an Evelyn player. But
Yeah. Having like basically Faker come into lane at least twice and just getting fall into the same tactic over and over again felt like Faker. It was not only. I'm not going to basically belittle Tarzan here or basically say what he didn't do was amazing. He avoided vision. Basically, he knew exactly where the vision was.
It was a team call. They decided as a team that the only way they could win the game was by backdooring.
Yeah.
Because they basically said to each other, "Hey, we can't win the team fight. It's literally impossible. I can't fight the flanks on Evelyn. We don't have the damage to necessarily out-damage them.
Yeah.
So this is going to be hella difficult. So the only way the inhib is down right now, we need to strike. They have no towers. We need to end the game." And Tarzan has the ultimate. He can get over the wall. He can just pass. He can move past the vision. That's exactly what he did. He ulted over the wall, placed the control, what double teleport comes in, and they end the game. And that's literally a team call. They said that's how Tarzan explained it himself. But that's the only reason why the Evelyn pick was good there. And that goes like kind of against his point where he said Evelyn wasn't good in the team that they picked, and that's where I kind of disagree. It really depends on what you do. I feel like Griffin through their kind of early game lead,
Yeah.
similar to the second game they played, where he played Elise, but they got it back later on
hmm
because they keep picking off. I believe it was Faker that got picked off twice.
Yeah, yeah. Faker got picked twice off in a row. He got picked off again in game 3. He got picked off constantly, and I felt like Faker. Everyone's going to argue Teddy was kind of like the weak point, but I felt like Faker was. Faker actually basically
Faker was 2-6, so it
Yeah.
depends on how you look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's go over G2 versus Fatalities one. If I can find it, that is.
It's not really a backdoor. It's
A teleport, more or less, but
no. You just go to the just go to the vaults, dude, and just pick the game. It's already
yeah,
unlocked.
no. There we go.
Yeah, just go to the end. There you go.
Yeah. I think this is the one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the end. Okay, this is the end game here.
Yeah, so pretty much this is what happened, Michi.
Enjoy.
So just let you know, Michi, G2 was supposed to lose this.
Well, it was 50-50, I believe. Like, Vitality had a really strong early game. From the early game alone, you would have said, hey, G2, you lose this. But mid game, it was kind of even.
Yeah, mid game. Yeah.
Was it Vitality that threw at the Baron?
Yeah. Yeah, and yep, this is the Rise teleport.
Wait, did Jarvan have Spear of Sojin?
Huh?
Did Jarvan have Spear of Sojin?
Ah, I didn't notice that actually. Oh shit, he does.
Holy shit.
Why the fuck would you have Spear of Sojin
You can
on?
spam your W and survive when you go in.
Wow.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
I mean, that's my idea why they would.
I mean, why not just get a fucking Gargoyle Stoneblade then?
Probably because Q spam, I guess. And E flag spam.
I don't think you
I
want
mean,
to
like,
do
I
that
mean,
on
almost
Jarvan.
does make sense. You can spam your like E and like even with your team stats, your Q shreds.
Yep.
Your E is up 100%. It like
And if you just jump into the teams and your W, you can actually like spam that.
Yep.
Like, you know, it makes sense. Kind of.
So your analysis of this game then, Tim.
I think after Vitality's throw the Baron, I was sure if G2 was gonna win the game. It was kind of like lucky that Vitality got back into the game by doing, I believe it was the second Baron that they got, and they nearly ended it.
Yeah.
But death timers, and I think G2. I mean, Vitality had such a good early game, but after losing that, I was like, okay, well, G2 will now open up macro them. They have stronger champions, and basically after Wunder got ahead of the Jarvan, I felt like Camille's skills were way better than Jarvan, and it's just like, okay, I don't see them winning anymore. So that was my opinion. It was a short-lived game, and Vitality had the chance, and they just blew it. That's what I think about it.
That really comes into the question. So next week is the last week of basically the spring regular split.
Oh.
So next week G2 is going to be going up against Fnatic.
Yeah.
Fnatic has basically went from being some of the worst team in the LEC at that moment, and people were talking about Misfit being the best super team in the LEC, and well,
I'm not trusted in that, to be honest. I would really, dude, I'm a Fnatic fan. I'm biased, but I knew Fnatic's gonna come back at some point. Like, they just had to figure out how they like
Play around
work with
Nemesis.
what they have. Yeah, exactly. Like they have Nemesis, like this whole thing with Caps leaving and going over to G2, and then
Yeah.
Perks playing bot lane, like this whole thing. I mean, like, how do you spot it? You basically have the best mid lane and whole EU, and that guy's like, yo, we made it like finals worlds. Bye, I'm just gonna go with another team to our rivals now. Like,
So,
To be fair, he reckless. I believe it was on the stream or gave an interview or whatever. Anyway, the information is out there that the reason why Caps left is because the Caps didn't believe that Fnatic was strong early game, and he felt like they needed to fix that, but the team was unwilling to. That was his explanation for leaving.
yeah.
And then you have what Bwippo actually said in the interview after today's game is what they did last game against G2. They actually drafted 3 losing lanes with a losing jungle matchup, and they thought we can outscale. Well, they clearly couldn't, and that's something they will avoid again in the next
Yep.
draft, obviously.
And looking at that right now, they definitely have fixed up their early game. They've been on a win streak as well. They pretty much clawed it back, and that really comes to the question: G2 versus Fnatic. G2 look like they're faltering a bit. Like today's game, it was messy, it was good, but really messy.
I just realized Nemesis is literally Jensen 2.0. Remember when Jensen came to Cloud9? Like he was dog shit. They were all calling him like, "Oh, solo queue prodigy. He's so good," but he was not performing at all.
Just a moment. Are you speaking through your webcam again?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
static.
Yeah.
An Evelyn emote got released. Let's talk about that. Not just kidding.
shut up.
No, no more Evelyn emotes. But
None.
What?
you're ruining the podcast.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, that's
Hey,
fine.
I'm the main guy here. Shut up. I'm the reason 2 or 3 people are watching this podcast.
Okay.
Shit.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Hoots. So let's go over Fnatic versus G2. Between those two at this moment, with their current strength, who's gonna win?
Fnatic. I mean, like the reason why G2, I think Perks explained it the best. He just said like G2 isn't playing well at the moment, and they play messy indeed. They make mistakes, pretty much throughout the entire game, and I feel like Perks said that they just basically played really bad. Like they just suck. That's basically what he said.
Mm.
And and it's definitely visible. Like Wunder making the top lane mistake, where
Twice
he
in a
just
row.
gets and he just takes the tower shot, gets first blooded. It's kind of like from that point, top lane is supposed to be over because it's Camille. Camille from behind is a very difficult champion to execute,
Mm-hmm.
and that they won is entirely based on good decision making. But I do want to highlight something that is kind of where people touched on a little bit already, or it's still a discussion point to today. Is that many people said that G2 doesn't have macro, but today definitely shows that they do, because their decision making in the game against Vitality was pretty clean. I would say they did what they needed to come back into the game,
Yeah.
and this does show that on an individual level they're still on top. I feel like because
Yeah.
their execution
Mm-hmm.
in this game, it still felt like they were better than their opponents. Like,
Mm.
so
I think G2 doesn't do macro when they get ahead. When they get ahead, they just
That's the thing.
go wild. They just fucking do whatever they want.
Who's-
But then when they need to win games, they win games.
So Hoots, they do have macro. It's pretty much like what Papa Smithy said. The only reason they make these aggressive decisions is because that's pretty much the meta right now. And so basically Vision's got nerfed. So pretty much at this moment is you're only working with the available information you have, and trying to make players and go off there. This is how Team IG won last year. And this is going to be the case like coming into this year. I don't think that type of playstyle has been nerfed, and I feel like that's pretty much the reason why G2 are doing these type of proactive players. It's basically like 60-40, 50-50 kind of thing. They're a lot more worth taking those trades now. Whereas before, you didn't need to because Vision was overpowered. There was basically long times on wards. Basically, junglers have access to Smite, to basically Vision through Tracker's Knife at the time, which they had to remove. In other words, is right now, the meta...
Monkey and get rewarded.
Yeah, the meta right now is basically wards. I mean, not wards. Meta right now is aggression, basically.
Yeah, I agree. What I find funny about the IG, now you brought it up, IG versus Fnatic finals, it is pretty much how Fnatic fell through the first half of the split. I feel like the way they played in those series is exactly how they transitioned into this season.
Yeah, I think even Broxah compared it to exactly that at some point. Yeah, they just...
I mean, we got an EU team to finals. I say that's a good success. I mean, we've already done better than NA in that regard.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Splice for a moment. I feel like people are really underestimating Splice. And I feel like they're actually a really good team.
I mean, how can you underestimate a team that's doing well, like so well at the moment? I don't really think you can underestimate that.
No, people always said that Splice is only late game lull.
I mean, people said the same thing about Fnatic at some point, and now you see they're like, yeah, wait a minute, we actually can do something else.
Yeah.
I find it funny that that just because of the meta changes, that finally Reckless has the confidence in himself to pick early game champions. Finally. After like what, 6 years? No, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been this hyper carry player, but I mean, at the moment, it's just you need to play something else, right? You don't really get the late game where you can like be this hyper carry and you can just carry like that much with your like Tristana or whatever he likes to play.
Yeah.
Like that.
And Reckless is very similar to Uzi. Uzi, for example, bans Draven because he can't play it, and that just shows what type of player Uzi and Reckless are.
Okay, so going into the finals, let's imagine it's G2 versus Fnatic. What champion do you ban?
Oh, I would say Yasuo for sure. I feel like Caps plays it. I feel like Perks plays it. And Nemesis plays it too, I believe. And Wunder Top actually plays it too. Yasuo is just such a flex pick. You need to get it off the table. Get that shit out of here, like for sure. And then the other champion I would look at this. This sounds maybe strange to some people, but I would also say what the heck is it? Jace. Jace is his name. Jace would also get off the table. Those two picks are too flexible. We've seen Jace in the jungle work, so
yeah.
Who knows?
We're gonna know which champion's gonna get constantly banned.
But why is Jace so? Why is he even pegged? He's so fucking bad.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing with Jace. You can potentially solo carry a whole game, but you can also lose it when you're behind. Like, if you don't get the lead and you don't snowball, the champ's fucking useless.
It's ranged champions top lol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you don't get a lead on Jace, then what are you gonna do?
Yep.
Nothing.
But yeah, there's one champion.
Just this risk of Jace getting ahead and actually solo carrying a whole game, like that risk is actually there, and that's why people ban him. They're like, yeah, actually, it's a little bit too risky to leave an open, just ban him.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it.
There's one champion that's gonna get nerfed and gets not nerfed, banned all the time.
Yeah.
Neeko.
What Neeko? Ah.
I feel like Neeko's gonna get banned against Fnatic a lot because it can be flex.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Weepo picks it in top lane, honestly.
To be fair though, we have only seen Nemesis play it. I don't know if Reckless wants to play the Deco pick. I doubt it because Reckless and new picks they don't
True.
go hand in hand. So like, but let's
It
say
has, Neeko has a similar playstyle to Vayne, and he can play in Vayne really well, so it could transition over to Neeko.
I don't think Neeko has the same playstyle as Vayne at all. Vayne is really balls to the walls, head forward, dive in, and see what you can get. Well, Neeko is just kite around, the duels, march DPS. I feel like their playstyles differ, but like the DPS is the same. That's
Yeah, I
the
mean
difference.
they also have almost the same build.
Yeah. Fair.
Blade, Mage Blade, and then after that, I mean it's different, but I mean those two items are basically what the build like does on it.
Okay. Well then, let's move into something else. Let's talk about the patch notes. So it has been a few days since then.
No. We haven't finished the splice talk yet.
Oh yeah, we haven't finished the Splice talk. So Splice.
Yeah.
About them, so basically is, do you feel like Splice would be top 3? Or do you think Vitality would beat them?
I think Vitality is better, but not because I have the same issue with Splice at the moment I have with Dawnwall Gaming. There's not a single person on Splice I can it's kind of like it's not a single there's not a single person on Splice I can point the finger to and say this person can solo carry the game. This person is gonna pop up. This person you can throw in resources, and this person will make sure that every single moment of the game will be in his hands and make the game winning plays. That's just not there, and the same goes for Dawnwall. How solid of a team Dawnwall is, nobody will deny that. But like they have the same issue. I don't feel like Dawnwall has a person I can point the finger to and say, "Hey, this person is fucking amazing." And
I feel like with Splice, if it was played like Unicorns Love back in the day, because we do have the duo of Xerxes and Vizichachi, which has actually got Unicorns of Love back in 2017, I believe, to basically finals between G2 and Unicorns, and that was down to Vizichachi and Xerxes duo. Do you feel like Vizichachi could be a star carry again?
no, I mean, yes and no. I feel like the picks right now are not really in his favor. I feel like he's not bad by all. Like as I said, most of the players are not bad. It's just that they're not good enough to be that wonder player, and that's kind of where like it becomes so difficult. Like if you look at like even at Nemesis, like Nemesis' gem pool is kind of like Cap's last season. Nemesis just has all these picks, all these flex picks, all these niche picks, the scaling, the early game. He has everything. Like I feel like the champion pool that guy has is already like a noteworthy thing. I can already say Nemesis. Okay, his champion pool. Okay, what is he gonna pull out today? What is he gonna flex out today? And for top lane, of course, Bippo was like the prodigy last season, where he definitely showed he is this. He has the mechanics. Like Bippo can pull off so many things, and when I hear interviews from that guy, he knows every matchup. He knows what to do, and every single time when someone says, "Hey, this champion is good against this guy," he will say, "No, it's not. He will prove you otherwise." And and then we have, of course, Reckless in the bot lane with Hylissang. Hylissang actually performing his Braum play was super smooth today, and like Hylissang is always a performing support type.
Yeah.
And then you have Broxa, and we all know what happened last year with the solution, so we definitely know he has some highlight plays. Like, I feel like those kind of players just miss on Splice. I just don't feel like, hey, this player is exceptionally good compared to.
I would say that Kobe's underrated though, for definite. Like he's always seemed like the silent type, but he has actually carried Splice well, especially with his Vayne performance today.
Yeah, but Kobe is like I feel like Kobe because he's an ADC. We have just other ADCs that are just on his level.
Uh, I mean, between Reckless, Attila, Kobe. Well, we're not going to mention HeQ. I don't know how he still is in the LEC, but
Oh,
let's talk about HeQ. Why the fuck is he still in the LEC?
Rogue in general is just a question mark at the moment.
I mean, it's kind of sad that those new teams like Rogue and Exo like just didn't do well basically on the
That really comes into it though, which is HeQ got into the LEC, but Samux didn't, and Samux was actually a pretty decent ADC on the Unicorns. I mean, he wasn't the best, but he was fucking 10 times better than HeQ.
I know, but I feel like it's hard to measure Bing Q. Like he's first off, he's a rookie. Let's be honest. Second off, he is like in like a he's in the volunteer team. He's literally 10th place. Like how
But
how
he's always been in like bad teams, like on Rocket with they haven't been good. Ninjas in Pyjamas, they haven't been good either.
I think Memento actually talked. I think it was Memento that talked about it. He actually said that HeQ is a very hard-working player, which is why he gets hired. But he says that for all that hard work, he still has no talent, pretty much.
I thought he was a rookie. To be fair, that's how memorable he is of a player, I guess.
So
But,
he's not. It's not. I'll check to see his.
He's not like HeQ has been around for a few years now. Like he's not completely new. He's been on Rocket and Ninjas in Pyjamas. That's what I know.
Let's look at his history. So HeQ, Ninja in Pyjamas.
Yeah.
Then he joined Team Rocket, and he joined Rogue, and he always has stat-wise pretty much the lowest across the board.
I feel like, but what I do kind of notice about him is that he does play like a lot of ADCs. He feels like a super budget Reckless. Like he does have all these picks. I know that he's not performing.
Low budget Reckless.
Yeah, low budget Reckless. Just he feels like he does have all these picks, and I mean, he is also if he has always been in all those like shitty teams, like I don't know, it's the same like how I measure like top tier plays. Like at least when Faker was like an SKT, Faker would make like the reason why SKT won Worlds in 2013 was because of Faker. Like that's like if you are in a winning team, then it's also easy to look bad compared to your teammates. But it's also the opposite. It's also you also look bad when your team is doing bad. And I can measure his skill in game because I mean if I looked at the game today, he did nothing. Okay, but his team did nothing either. Like they ganked top 5 dice and they didn't get a single kill there. So it's kind of like what do you want from him at that point? He's not the skill.
Exactly. Like, hey, come on, it's like it's ADC. If your team does bad, you won't do good either. You're like you can't do anything as an ADC if your team does bad. You're like reliant on them doing good.
So just to let you know, HeQ was also in Giants.
Oh,
yeah, that's what Giants, another team. Like he's only been on shit teams. Like legit.
Let's put him on Fnatic. Oh, G2. Let's throw him to the wolves.
I mean, he wouldn't fit in on Fnatic and he wouldn't fit in on G2 mainly because of how the teams play and because they have other players. But let's put him on Splice instead of Kobe. Let's do that. I believe. With the right coaching, such a player like him, if he is hardworking and if he is in a team that actually performs, like he gets actually like resources put into him without like his support with these feeding kills or the jungler dying.
To be fair, didn't they give him resources in one game and he still got fucked up?
Yeah, but I mean, as I said, if your whole team is shit, you will eventually do shit.
To be fair, that's the thing though. Kikis was a really good jungler on Vitality.
Yeah, but Kikis, like, like jungle is also a lane dependent role. If I play jungle, even though I'm diamond 1, if I'm in a gold game, I have 3 losing lanes, I'm not gonna perform.
True.
Simple as that. So
it really comes to the question though. Let's see in terms of like Rogue's team. I don't know. I feel like Profit. I've never been impressed with him since he came off SKT. Like, he's never really done well.
Let's be honest. Have you been impressed by Piglet when he came off SKT?
No, I think everyone forgot about him. I think every player that leaves SKT turns shit. Who need
bang 100 thieves, dude.
who need 100 thieves?
Bang was gonna win worlds and prove that he was still the best.
Peanut. Let's not forget Peanut.
I mean, Peanut kind of did it. I mean, I don't know what happened to Peanut, but Peanut did it kind of himself. Because I heard somewhere, these are rumors, I don't know how true they are because Korea translate, etc. But I heard that when SKT had this bad year with Peanut, Peanut was forced onto these tanks, but he also didn't want to play like the playmakers he did the year before. And that crushed his morality because when he played Il Rocks, where they nearly won against SKT 5-game series, he had fun in the game, and I feel like because like in SKT, you suddenly have this huge weight that you have to perform because of their reputation. I feel like that crushed his reputation more than it did.
Yeah.
And now because he had such a shit year, now he has to regain what he had the year before, and that's kind of impossible because the teams in the LCK are so solid. Like there are a couple bad ones, but like every team, like a low tier team from LCK is a mid to high tier team in any other region. So
let's actually check LLE esports at this moment because let's go over the scale. Because remember, relegations is still a thing in Korea.
Yeah.
And let's look at the standings for Korea. I think we can guess which team is probably going to be at the bottom.
Yeah, I forgot their name.
Oh, right. So KT. So this can go either way, but KT Rollsters, Gen G Esports, Africa Freaks, and Jin Air Green. So Jin Air's definitely going to get relegated. I don't think they'll ever win because there's always going to be hungry challenger Korean teams that will just pretty much beat them. Africa Freaks and Gen G and KT Rollsters. Who do you think will?
Jesus.
Yeah. Who do you think is? Do you feel like let's go over KT Rollsters because they've always been a staple? Do you feel like it's very highly likely they could get relegated?
No, I mean, and essentially, it depends on who shows up on the day. I know that KT Rollsters have very good players. I forgot like half of their team, but it doesn't matter. I know that they have like very good players on their team, and they are definitely a brand that has been there for a long while.
Yep.
And like KT Rollster, like as I said, with what the problem is with LCK is that they have names out there that are shitty teams. Like Keen, for example, he was the best top laner that came into Worlds, for example, like last year. It's hard to say like, oh my god, this team is so fucking bad, like in LCK that they cannot win. It's like they definitely can. They have these names out there that just can solo carry the game, given the opportunity. But it's also like LCK a whole is at this level that is completely different to every other region. I don't know how to explain it. It's so fucking stupid. LCK is just good. I swear to God, Africa Freaks could get like top 3 in LEC. Africa Freaks can get top 3 in LCS easily. Like they're not bad at all. KT same thing. It's just like that's just how it is.
So let's go over like indie challenger scene for the LCK. We have the APK Prince, which I believe Kakao is on that team. Yeah, Kakao. But Michi, remember Michi?
Yeah.
who basically like just decided fuck this team. Which team was he on in NA? Was it?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. Was it Clutch Gaming or?
You can just look it up. You have this Buildpedia thing page for him.
No. Oh, Golden Guardians. He just pretty much went fuck that team and just left. He just went back to Korea without telling anyone. Because at that fucking time, Korea had Lolo, Matt, X Special. It's just like, they had all these teams as well. It was a pretty bad team back then. They were pretty much like bottom of the standing, and he was just like... But Mickey's always been a toxic player, so... I'm surprised he found himself on another team, to be honest, especially considering he pulled that off. Because, if anything, Korean teams won't stand for that shit. So, that's interesting.
Let me see where Wolf is. Wolf is
he's
a super massive.
Yeah, he's in TCL.
Is anyone watching NALCS?
No. Why would we?
DLG and Golden Guardians. Arise was split pushing bottom. He took both turrets, the Nexus turrets. Cyan TP'd, and Cannon was trying to stop him. They killed them both. So Cannon TP'd and backdoored, and that's how they won the game.
Oh shit.
It's really fucking... Everyone is just backdooring everyone.
Is backdoor the latest meta now?
Yeah, backdoor meta.
Okay.
It's viable strategy. The opportunity needs to be there. I feel like turrets just at 30 minutes in the game fall way too quickly, and with a lot of AD or with a lot of AP, you burn through them so quickly because it's basically early game meta. All those split push champions are back into the game, and it means that you will burn through towers very quickly.
Okay, so I guess we'll finish off that topic, and let's just go over into League of Legends Amino itself. So what I'm going to do right now is just showcase a few content. So as I said, on the podcast, we're just going to be doing some general, like, looking at stuff on Amino. If your stuff is good enough, we'll show it. If your stuff isn't good enough, well, you suck.
It's shit.
Yes. So apparently, I haven't seen this, but apparently ABC Zavari, someone actually made a video. And it got featured.
Alright, let's watch it. Let's make fun of it. Oh.
The thumbnail is promising.
So, a while back, my friend Kyle and I noticed that a lot of Korean mid laners had Ari as their favorite champion.
ADC Ari, because who played it?
Why for a while, but I think I figured it out. So this is English Ari.
Is it the video from him? Wait, what?
And this
I'm
Also
not too
Ari
sure.
voiceover. For Ari Korean voiceover.
Oh god, no.
What is this video, dude? I don't get it.
It got featured.
Wait, but there's no sound for me. I'm just watching it through a Discord.
I am 100% sure it's the death sound.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Here he goes. KDA Ari, ADC. Oh, here he has Ludens.
No wait, he's not even ADC, he's mid lane. What?
Yeah, he's playing Ludens. What the heck? At least he
Yeah,
knows how
let's
to
hire
build.
this guy as an editor.
We could. If it's his video, then yeah.
You know who's our editor? Pinchaman.
We need an editor.
Yeah, the editor for LA YouTube. He's gonna edit the video once Coco finishes the drawing she's been working on for the past month.
Wow. Oh shit! How's this ADC Ari? But why
It's
is
just
he showing off
Ari
random art?
gameplay and hentai and that's it.
So
I'm confused.
So this video's demonetized.
I mean, what's the death sounds? He showed Ari's lore. I'm not getting it. Like,
If you want to check this out, check it on the League Amino app.
oh, it's ABC.
Yep.
Oh, no, ADC. I mean, that makes so much more sense, though.
Okay, let's look at that. So cosplay.
Then would cosplay again. Okay.
Why
Serac.
is Riven jungle with Aftershock a thing?
Because Korea played it.
Because everything with Aftershock in the jungle is always a thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
after-
but Riven top with Conquer on the
So-
patch that they're playing is
so
fucking retarded.
This is a tutorial of Soraka's wings. So if you want to check that out, you can also check it out here.
Fun fact: people who play Aftershock mid laners are virgins for life.
Okay.
Aftershock Rise was just in game.
Dude, Aftershock Silas, Aftershock Lissandra, dude, get out.
And also,
I'm an AC. I'm gonna cry about everything.
also there's a music challenge.
Dude, mid laners cry about it. I don't play against that in lane.
And also, guys, there's a music challenge as well by Nazgul. Is there a reward? Is there?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a reward. It's pretty difficult, but a lot of people have already figured out. So there's no reason to join anymore. because
Okay, there's no
much
reason.
You can pretty much copy paste the comments and figure out the one more.
And also, our beloved leader Sushi, or Old Tranny Sushi as we call her, done an April Fool's skin review. So if you want to check out what she thinks of these skins, then do so. For example, I love the Corgi skin.
Did the Corgi?
Yep.
Yes, like that one is actually hilarious.
Yep.
Like come on, look at it.
It's a fucking doge.
Dude, he's legit riding the meme dog.
A doge.
Well, Corgis and Shibas are basically the meme dogs. And also, one more thing, this is my blog, we're going to try and do weekly 5v5s, one for NA and one for EU. In terms of who's hosting the NA games, pretty much what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to talk with the leaders further about it. Hopefully we'll make this a thing and actually get someone in charge of hosting NA games.
Hey, are we doing it tomorrow?
No, we're not doing it tomorrow.
You said Sunday, come on.
I know.
Tomorrow
We're not doing it tomorrow. Like I said, I need to get this set up a lot because what we need to do is make this consistent and regular so people actually visit it every week.
He needs to make a schedule. That's what he promised people.
Yep.
No, fuck you. Why can't we do it tomorrow? I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Well, you can do it tomorrow then. It's not going to be promoted. Because
Sure. Go ahead, Hoots, play alone against bots.
you
No,
can
nine
do it.
bots.
You can do it.
You guys always. I just wanna play 5v5
Make-
with my friends. But you guys always bully me.
you can play with Evie.
You might want to say go
Yeah,
to cry
like,
to Evie about it, but she's probably gonna make you cry even more. So you know.
I'm crying enough already.
And let's check one more thing as well. Let's look at the Ezreal chibi, which is pretty cute. Speaking of, Ezreal's getting nerfed next patch.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's a 50-50. I don't think it's a necessary nerf. I don't think it's a necessary buff. It's kind of like
It kind of does nothing, but we changed him, so yeah.
that. It's kind of like, okay, the only thing that changed, now you absolutely have to hit the W. And if you're good, you will hit it anyway.
So we'll discuss this once he comes into the next patch and we have a few days of stats. But right now, apparently he's getting nerfed next patch. Nerfed. Other than that, though, I think...
Show one more block. One more block, okay.
Blog, okay. Leona highlight. Let's go over that.
Alright,
Wait,
sure.
where's
Let's look
my
at the
blog?
highlight.
Yeah,
Let's
that's not
roast
right.
it.
Okay.
Give me my blog, come on.
Okay, here's the highlight. She gets rooted. Okay, bubble. Okay. The Draven goes all in. Oh, shoot. Oh, the Draven gets. She got it. Okay, it's the Diana jungle can't do shit. Okay.
Wait, that's it?
Um,
No, the only
wait,
thing
that's
impressive
small.
about
Okay,
this
okay,
is
it's smart.
Okay.
Alright, it's the Leona Jinx plate. Leona Jinx laser traps. Leona goes in. She gets interrupted again. Okay, and the Kha'Zix comes in. And it is a kill. It is a double kill. And the Jinx has a break. Jinx is very low. Okay, Jinx dies. And
Wait, that just stops.
I feel like these highlights, you know, like when you're having sex
Oh,
and
by
each
the
time
way,
you want to get to
why-
the climax, it just ends.
Do you think Y is gonna be viable?
Oh right, yeah, I forgot about
I
it.
mean,
think
she
Y
did-
is pretty good.
I think Vi has always been viable, but she's just
Yeah,
like
those change, like those buffs are actually hella juicy. Like,
Yeah.
those are some healthy buffs.
yeah.
Okay, we need to go.
Also, Morgana. I think Morgana is gonna be not a top tier pick, but a good pick.
I think she's gonna be a top tier support pick, not for mid lane, more of a niche pick because Morgana's Black Shield offers so much and her Q got buffed by 0.5 seconds. So if you root someone, it's pretty long.
Okay, and let's go over display.
Holy shit. Okay. Griffin tries to break into the Leona. Tries to stack up Nami's flashes. Nami throws in her ultimate. Griffin is already dead because he got tagged by all this.
I like how like Kha'Zix is in every
Hey,
These clips
League of
are-
Legends is a team game.
These clips are. I don't know if they're.
Leona, okay, let's go.
Dark Lord Slayer is legendary. Look at that, dude.
Yeah, let's go. Leia, okay, they go in. Okay, they somehow what is this? Got 6 one-shots. Okay. Well, the fucking Diana comes in.
Yo,
Okay, Diana
teamwork with
gets one shot.
Cloud9.
Okay, and now everyone is dead. Okay, let's go. Now the mid laners are too. Like, it's just a 4v3.
This is just. We're spending too much on this, but it's hilarious.
Alright, Leona walks over Vision. Or her own Vision, I believe. I don't know, I can't see colors. Okay, let's go. She goes in onto the Diana, and oh no, the person is dead now.
Okay. What's all these 15 seconds clips?
Guys, place your bets. Team Liquid Cloud9.
I anticipate the Pike's E so I could stun him and the ADC.
I anticipate
Cloud9.
Cloud9 to win.
Okay, let's look over this.
Alright.
Okay,
Deze play. I see Galio, okay? Let's go, Leona Galio. Yeah, Illusion, okay. I guess.
Wait, so you thought Pike is gonna jump in there?
Okay, the Fane is dead. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Pike gets the return kill. Okay, that's it. It's a 3v2. How can you not fuck up this dive?
I mean, like it's Leona. Like, what kind of big plays can you even do on the chat?
okay
like
apparently this is a beautiful ult. So this is the final video. Let's
Okay,
impress us, Twisted Ambition.
Like, you play a tank support. Like,
let's go.
Hey,
Okay,
come on, you can make
I-
some juicy plays on Alistar and
So-
Brawl.
yeah.
so-
I mean,
I mean, I once played Leona and made like a double Baron steal in one single
yeah, I
game
mean,
with
like,
her
maybe
ultimate.
some like sick ult or E prediction or like, you know.
Are you
Alright,
ready?
let's go. Let's
Are
go.
you-
But
Are
I
you?
mean, like,
But I don't think you two are ready though.
Those two are kind of talking.
Yeah, but no, I mean like I don't think you're ready for this beauty. Apparently she says
Okay,
it's a beautiful
I'm
ult.
not ready. I need to sit. I need to stretch.
okay, I'm ready.
Oh, rip.
What happened? I don't know. Someone did. She goes into the blitzcrank. What is this? The ultimate. Katarina die. Katarina gonna kill. I mean,
Ultimate.
blitzcrank died too. Okay, I guess they
Why
all
are
died.
those all only 15 seconds? What is this?
I'm not too sure. Apparently he's going to be uploading daily from here on out. So let's see if he actually has any more.
Oh,
he streams as well.
Oh, that's why it's all 50 minutes. 50 seconds.
highlight.
And also he's gold 1 at the moment. Do you think he'll get plat, guys?
If he
Let's
only
place a
plays
10K
it
bet.
With those plays, yes.
yeah, that's enough to get platinum.
Okay, you get a follow.
Wait, Yates, he's a better support than you are.
Oh yeah, true.
I mean, hey, Yates made it to plat again, so okay.
I made it
Yeah.
to plat on busted LP games.
I mean, Yates is maybe pleb, but he doesn't have as clean of a Leona as he does.
He
Yeah.
has a clean zillion.
Oh, dude, Zillion, man.
I haven't played Zillion for ages, actually.
Zillion is a cool champion.
Yates,
When he's on your team.
Yates, do you
Yeah.
have to work tomorrow?
No, I'm off tomorrow.
Then we need to play.
Hey,
Okay.
we can do the 5v5. See, you're free.
No, we're not gonna do the 5v5s.
We're all gonna
You're
play.
toxic. You're not even invited. Get the fuck out.
So this is pretty much it. So basically, this is going to be a segment at the end of the podcast where we'll just showcase off people's blogs. So if you're featured, then there's a chance that we'll have a look at it and just do some commentary over.
Please send in more Leona plays so we can actually review them, because Leona plays are hype as fuck.
Yep. Nah,
I
definitely.
mean, not like anyone watches this podcast anyway.
Exactly. So we don't have to worry about it.
What do
No.
you mean exactly? It's your first time being on it.
Yeah,
I, I was like a regular and then I got kicked off. Like, what is this?
Yeah. Listen, buddy. I explained it to you before we
So-
started.
So let.
Okay, so everyone who's not watching this is homophobic. There we go.
Okay, but listen. Why was that the actual reason? Because
Let's,
I mean, you weren't in the chat, so we were like, well, I guess he's AFK. Fuck him. Let's find a third person.
So folks, let's wrap this all up. So, as I said, if you do want to find out more podcasts or to have more content or communicate with those lovely people, you can find us on the League of Legends Amino app. You can find out on the Android store, or the Google Play Store, or iTunes. And you can also access it via the main website like this, but you need to create an account through your mobile phone device. As I said, we'll be doing these podcasts every fortnight, so always catch us up on Saturday. As I said, you'll usually run into the same people, but we'll always try and mix it up and get new people on board. As I said, Coco wants to do one on female in League of Legends, so that'll be interesting.
I definitely want to hear her
Yeah.
opinion.
Oh,
Can we get Brie Larson on here as well? Females in League of Legends.
I want to be in a podcast with Richie, man.
Yeah, we should get him in on board at some point. But
Wait, we can what we should do is like once a month we should just like, because we are regulars, right? Once a month we should just kind of like have like more people on and then just make a gigantic podcast where we have like an interview format.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, and that's something we'll look into.
Wait, what do you mean we almost kicked you tonight.
No, is
I will force myself into this. Don't worry, I have a big dick. I know how to get into this.
other than that though,
Squeezing yourself.
thank you very much for watching this podcast. We'll see you in a fortnight.
Wait, I wanna cast it out.
Okay, you can cast
Go
it
ahead.
out.
Let's totally do, boys. That's it for this week. See you next time on the Iron Division Core Podcast. Featuring Hoots, Jake, Tim, and...
Mickey's not gonna be there. Fuck you.
Dude, I won't come
That's it,
anyway, man.
boys. Bye.
Don't into my solo queue games. Thank you.